Welcome to The Best of Intentions, a podcast from Intention Films and Media, hosted by writer, director, former film commissioner, and novelist Deborah Markowitz. So join us as we talk about all things creative.
Hi, this is Debbie Markowitz from the Best of Intentions podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We're going to be back in the studio next week. Well, thank you for spending Memorial Day with us, first of all. But we will be back in the studio on June 1st, and we're pretty excited about that. But I have a very, very special guest here today. I just worked with this wonderful woman, over the last 2 years, and I think we finally wrapped a few months ago, but on a pilot called Welcome to Bellevue. She is a multi-hyphenate talented individual, and it is my pleasure to welcome Maureen VanTrease. How are you?
Hi, Debbie. I'm so excited to be here. It's just like a complete surprise to me. It's like, oh, Debbie wants to interview me, little old me.
Of course, of course. I mean, Welcome to Bellevue is just starting its festival journey.
Yep.
And it's, I knew it was going to be well received. I was thankful that you brought me in to direct it, but can you tell our audience the story?
Well, it takes place in a skilled nursing facility. So it deals with rehab patients, it deals with memory care. And it all started about 5 years ago with a conversation between myself and my co-creator, Susan Lampkins. And she works in the nursing home healthcare industry. And she said, I have all these amazing stories. And some of them are just so funny. You just wouldn't believe. And she told me some of them. And she said, I think it would make a really great TV series. And I said, you know what? It probably would. But then, of course, it took us about 3 years, 2.5 years until it actually sort of brewed up and came to fruition. And I actually started writing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then it takes, I know part of the problem always is money. The money, it's always the biggest problem is the money thing. And it took you a while. I know you'd raise money and then we'd shoot another day or two, you'd raise more money, do another day or two.
Exactly how it went, because we had about a $45,000 budget all told.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have taken, I don't know how long to raise that much money to be able to shoot everything in 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had 3.5 days really of shooting. So it just would take too long. It would just take too long. So it's like, you know what? Let's get started on this. And to my mind, it kind of felt like, yeah, okay, we might have saved time and we might have saved a little bit of money by doing it all in one go. But by doing it in these pieces, it kind of gave me the impetus to say, okay, well, now I better raise the money and do the rest of it because we already started it. We got to finish it.
Oh, yeah. When you don't have a choice.
Got to finish it. I don't have a choice now. How do we get another $10,000? How do we get another $10,000?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that was actually really awesome. And it takes a lot to do that. We just wrapped on a couple of guys. We were working, filming it for, I think, John knows exactly how long, but it was over 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we started on it 9 years ago. I wrote it. It was supposed to be first a short film called Menu. And I sent it to my DP, Mark Review at the time. And Mark had shot several of my films. He goes, I don't want to, I'm not feeling this. I don't want to do it. And I'm like, I want to do it. And so I went to a couple of other people and they said, well, do you think this is the kind of film that could get into life? I don't put my own films in the Long Island International Film Expo. But he goes, do you think it'd get in? I said, yeah, I think it's the kind of film that would get in there. He goes, do you think it's the kind of film that would win? I said, no, because there's not enough to it. And I went, there's not really enough to this. So, okay. So I then just kind of fell in love with the idea of the story. And then it became what was going to be 3 seasons worth of episodes.
Yeah.
I was really, really positive we were going to be able to do this. Then it became a 10-episode limited series, and then it became a completed 4-episode series that was going to go into 6. And I finally said at the beginning of the year, I said, if I can't keep raising money for this, I mean, this is just, it's going to take forever. And the actor's going to age out, I'm going to age out. And so I wrote it into a feature. And then we flipped the contract and we just finished. So 7 years. but I wrote it in a way that the actors could have aged that amount of time because I couldn't, none of us look the
Like,
same.
how else are you going to do it?
Yeah.
I figured, well, you know what? We better do this pretty quickly before like 5 years have passed and I look different.
Yes. Yeah. Because you're the lead actress in Welcome to Bellevue. That would be a problem.
That would be a problem.
If you figured it out, you'd be there 5 years, but then the story would have to be different.
Well, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Of
And-
course, the story would be different, but still, the less we had to go back to the drawing board, the better.
Yeah.
And we even did for like a couple little things, tiny things, just to make continuity happen.
Mhm.
Because there was one bit where the first day that we filmed in Adelphi,
Mhm.
I wasn't wearing the necklace and earrings. And I realized that when I looked at the footage and I'm like going,
That's why you take
I've
them
got
off.
to find a way to take these off. When can I take these off? And so that's why I gave the cigarette lady more lines. It's like, let's just give her more lines.
And that's a great scene. That is a hilarious scene. I didn't know why you did that, but I can see if you're tired and you just want to take your jewelry, and she's great talking.
They hurt. She doesn't wear them. Ouch. These hurt too.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even know that.
Take his necklace off because like out of sight, out of mind. She's crazy.
That is amazing. I didn't realize why you did that.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
I
When I
know.
realized that, I was like, we're gonna have to do something here because the continuity isn't there.
Yeah.
And always, when you go back and you watch something like for the bazillionth time, you're like going, oh shoot, we missed that little bit of continuity. Dang it. Like there's this one thing that I keep seeing. Now, I'm probably the only one who notices it.
Mhm. Yeah, John was just in a movie. I don't want to say the name, but he realized that he's the getaway driver in a car, and he's watching it the first time the director sent it to him, and he goes, "You realize my hat's gone, right?" He's got the hat in one scene, it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, when you got in the accident, your hat must have flew off.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you do whatever you have to do, but it's especially if you're doing that far apart, and then you have to figure out how
Right.
to bridge things, and yeah, that is so.
Yeah. Continuity can be a problem when you're stretching out your shooting over years.
Yeah. The thing I love about Bellevue, one of the things is, well, first of all, the cast is just amazing, and that was so much fun.
Well, many of them are thanks to you. So
Although I will say I was really impressed. I was watching The Handmaid, not The
Handmaid's
Handmaid,
Tale?
The Housemaid, and Alexandra Steele is in it. I'm like, oh wait, is that? And I looked it up on IMDb. I said, that's Alexandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, but so she's awesome. But they're all awesome.
And Nayab Hussein is in a lot of stuff too. She's all over the place.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. But everybody, I think, at some point knows somebody in a skilled nursing facility. We're living longer. Somebody got a mother,
Absolutely.
grandmother, cousin, sister, somebody. So
Yeah.
it's even though obviously it's a very difficult situation, I know from my mother having been there, there's sometimes really hilarious things that would happen. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
my mother at one point, when she first went in there, my mother had a mouth on her. And I would go in there, and she really, and like, as far if you want to look at the word Italian and stubborn, that's my mother completely.
Yeah.
But like she would sit there, and I'm sitting down, she's looking around, giving everybody the evil eye, and she goes, "This cruise sucks." And she's like, I'm like, yeah. I said, yeah, okay, well, she goes, I'm gonna get on another ship tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll put you on the ship. She goes, who put me on this? Was it your brother? It was your brother, wasn't it? I go, yeah, it was.
Yes, it was my brother.
He sucks.
Definitely him.
So there's things that come out that are sometimes kind of hilarious.
My mother never cussed until she had dementia, and then it was all the time. It's like, this is like all of a sudden the things that were in their minds that they filtered out don't get filtered out anymore.
Yeah.
And so, you're dealing with that. And it was important to me with this, bringing Susan's stories to life, to especially touch on dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Because it affected me. My dad, my mom, my brother has it now. And it's tough. It's really tough. My sister just passed away, we feel like it probably was Alzheimer's.
Oh, wow.
And just not, you know, she never was diagnosed or anything. They didn't want to take her through the testing and all of that. So they
Mhm.
just, you know, it's like, what are you going to do? You'll give her some medication and she'll be fine for like a few extra years. My
That's,
brother is on the medication. He seems to be doing great, and the medications are getting better, which is
mhm,
good for me because since it runs in my family, who knows?
mhm.
They'll have a cure for it by the time I come down with it.
I mean, they're learning stuff all the time with that
Yeah.
question, so my hope is they do find something. It's so,
Yeah.
it's an
But
awful.
I thought it was really important to bring that part of the whole nursing rehab facility to it because every one of these rehab facilities has a memory care unit
Mhm. Yeah,
because you know if they're coming out of the hospital they might need to be in memory care
yes, yeah, yeah.
and too and
It's not
sometimes
uncommon.
it's hard to find spaces. We couldn't find a place for my sister.
Mhm,
They had her in the hospital for weeks and weeks looking for a place.
mhm,
Eventually she just passed away. She was still in the hospital,
mhm.
but they couldn't find a facility that had room for her that was anywhere near their house.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I know we went through a lot with my mother too, and she finally ended up in it was a skilled nursing facility because she was in rehab, and then they just basically took her through all the steps in this one place after moving her a
Right.
few times because
Yeah.
we tried assisted living,
Yeah.
and at that point she was too far gone. You know,
Right.
it's like she was still living right before that. She was living home alone and mostly doing okay, but you see, she was starting to slip, and yeah, it wasn't going to work for her. So she had to go in rehab because she fell and we just said it's where she's kind of going to stay. She needs somebody 24 hours, so how does anybody even deal with that? That's really.
And speaking of Bellevue, that's part of the series, how it's going to pan out for one of
Mhm,
the characters, for Miss Junie, the fire alarm puller.
mhm,
She doesn't realize that her husband is gone.
mhm,
And in episode 3, she's going to actually pull the fire alarm
mhm.
and the firemen are going to come, which actually we wrote in
Yes.
the first episode, but we
Mhm,
had to take it out because it was making it way too long. And so that we're saving that for episode 3, but she recognizes the fire chief who comes, the fire captain who comes with the other firemen. And then, and they are actually trying to get her a space in the memory care unit because
mhm.
that's where she really needs to be because she doesn't remember and she
Yeah.
really can't live at home. And I'm excited to start bringing into the series family members.
Mhm. Yeah, that would make it richer as well.
That's coming in the second episode. We're going to start dealing with the mayor's wife and her grandson who
Mhm.
comes to visit her and brings her he brings her little tiny bottles of mouthwash,
Mhm.
which is just colored vodka, and she cheeks her oxy to give to him and sticks him in a little Band-Aid box and then well it gets found.
Yes. And these were all based on true stories, which
All
I.
true stories, yes. The whole mayor's wife cheeking her oxys actually happened.
Mhm.
Yep, actually happened. It's probably not the same character, but there was a gentleman, I think, who used to have these little bottles of mouthwash that were filled with vodka. And it's just so many crazy stories like that. Susan's got tons of them. We have enough stories to do like probably at
Mhm.
least 3 seasons.
Yeah.
At least 3 seasons.
So it started, Welcome to Bellevue has started its festival journey. Oh,
Yes,
it's doing very nicely so far.
it is so far. Now, we didn't get in Tribeca. Sad about that, but we knew that was a long shot.
Mhm.
Even with alumni in the cast, we still knew it was a long shot.
Right.
Um, and so, of course, we didn't make it. They sent us a lovely little rejection letter saying we had 10,600 entries. It's like, okay, I guess it was kind of a long shot. But we did get into Big Apple Film Festival and we just had our New York City premiere there
Mhm.
last Tuesday, the 12th. Tuesday, the 12th.
Right.
And so that was really great. We've had an online viewing already with Southern Shorts Awards. That was this past weekend. Uh,
Mhm.
I was I was given the Best Actress award.
Mhm.
You should have seen me. I was like this little kid in the candy store. It was just crazy. It's like, what? Who, me? Are you kidding?
Mhm.
But then we also won Best TV Webisode
Mhm.
for their spring series. They do it twice a year, I think. So
And
yeah.
Ava won, didn't Ava win for getting acting and excellence?
She got an award for excellence in acting. Yes, yes. And then don't you know, we were both up for the Best Actress award.
Wow.
But they were so sweet and kind. And I think one of the hosts was sending her little messages because it was all on Zoom, sending her little messages like you did such a great job. This is so good. And she kind of teared up because she was
Oh.
getting nice compliments and everything from the people who run it.
Mhm.
And it was really great. It was great.
It's cool. And then you have another one coming up, a big one actually, Golden Door. Yes.
Yes, Golden Door Film Festival, end of June. I'm so excited about that. That will be our New Jersey premiere. And so that'll be, I don't know when we screen yet. Uh,
Opening night. Oh, you don't know. You
I
don't
don't
know.
know. They
It's
have not
screening opening night.
sent, they haven't sent us the schedule yet.
Okay, I
They
have seen it somewhere. Somebody mentioned that it's opening.
have.
Yeah.
Why haven't they sent me an email?
I think Isaac
Get it.
is it Isaac Platsky put that his film is in there. He goes, and we're also screening with. So yeah, check it online. Look at the tickets because it's screening
Okay.
with. Also, Silent Harmony, which is a film another film I directed. And then I know it's with Archangel, and I think Melissa's film is with it too. $13, I think.
All on opening night.
Yeah, on the opening night thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
check that out. But I'm pretty sure the 25th of
I
June.
hope Melissa and I are in different blocks so we can go
Oh,
to
maybe.
this
Well, there's
film.
2 blocks that day, so maybe, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that we're opening night. Welcome to Bellevue. So
Okay.
definitely check
Well,
it out.
yay then. I don't know
Just
if Chris will
verify,
be
but
able
I'm
to
pretty
attend,
sure.
but
I thought I posted about that actually because it was pretty exciting. It's like, oh, nice, really nice. And that's a lovely film festival. Um,
that's going to be
yeah,
great.
so that's really
We
cool.
see
That's an
you and John there, will we? See you and John there.
yeah, we'll
Okay,
try. And
good,
the funny
good.
thing
I
is,
know you couldn't make the Big Apple
yeah,
thing. You are the busiest woman I know.
I'm insane. I'm insane now. I really am. It's just crazy. I'm trying to get work done, and there's so many projects. I think John figured out there's first we thought we're in the middle in some way involved in 4 different features at one point
Yeah,
that came out that we're promoting, one we were shooting, one that's in development, and one that's in post. But then he was thinking about this morning, he goes, you realize there's like 12 different projects. I said, why? He said, well, yeah, Welcome to Bellevue is out there. You have Silent Harmony is out there. You've got Brimstone at Brimstone Lullaby. We haven't shown that yet. That'll be a premiere. We haven't even submitted Just Sex yet, and that's a new one. And I'm
yeah.
like, we're buried, you know?
Now, I believe before we started this and he came on screen to chit chat, he said 14.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So no
believe
wonder
that's
I'm
what he means.
insane. And I realized when they start sending out the acceptances and the rejections for Golden Door, I didn't see Just Sex or a Brimstone Lullaby come up, and I'm like, well, it didn't get rejected, but didn't I
Like, what's
looked
going
through it and
on?
I forgot to submit them.
Oh, gee.
I must have started and then I got carried away with another job and I never finished submitting them. So I'll have them next. It's a good thing we're not all competing against each other. So
Right.
I'll submit it next
Well,
year.
if you want a New Jersey premiere, Garden State is still coming up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It is. That's a possibility. We showed Silent Harmony there last year. I know. I really have to sit down and work on my festival plan, but it's like I'll just have them sit there for a while because this stuff I
Yeah.
gotta do.
My festival plan was, okay, I'm gonna see when is the earliest I can submit to all these other festivals that all of the people I know, like you, like Melissa Skirball, who are submitting to festivals is like, when do these come up? And
Mhm,
I knew I had already missed Beaufort, which
mhm.
is in
Oh,
January.
I think they would have liked that there too. I have a feeling.
And so, that's just for next year. It's like, okay, that's on my next year list.
Cool.
There had to be some that I knew I missed that are on the next year list.
Mhm.
Sundance is one of those. We missed Sundance. If we'd been ready in time, I would have submitted to Sundance as a TV pilot.
Mhm.
because they want to premiere for pilots.
Right.
But I can submit as a short now
Oh,
instead because they don't need a premiere status.
oh,
They
that's cool.
I think they don't need a premiere status for shorts.
Mhm.
And for South by Southwest, they prefer at least a Texas or an Austin premiere.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, I'm going to wait around South by Southwest, see if we get in that, and then I'll start submitting for the other things that are in Austin, like Austin Revolution,
Mhm.
the Austin Film Festival.
Yeah.
There's one in Abilene, Texas, which I think might be fun
Mhm.
because they're in their first year right now. So maybe I'll submit to them next year. But that's where I went to college and I
Mhm.
haven't been back there in ages. So that might be fun. Who knows? We'll see.
That's a whole thing in itself. Yeah, that's just that's something that unfortunately I've just let fall by the wayside
Yeah.
because I just can't yet. But our hope was to take off June and July to get caught up into right. We're
Mhm.
hoping. I don't know if that will happen, but we're
Well, you've got
hoping.
one event in June. I don't know what's happening the rest of your months, but with Golden Door, you've got one event.
I've got Golden Door. We have a couple of speaking things coming up. And then because we're promoting Waitlist, it's just, I mean, I don't want to complain. I'm getting some really nice press, but it's like, oh, wait, now I have an interview today. I can't do, oh, wait, I have to do that tomorrow. Wait, we're on WLIW the other day. And I didn't even realize
Yeah,
it was live.
great.
I didn't say anything stupid, but. And so it's kind of, setting all that stuff up and
Yeah.
doing this podcast, but this I really enjoy. I love to talk to friends and peers, and it gives me an hour to keep myself social. People with the baby screaming in the back, and you probably heard him running up the hall screaming like a crazy person. My
I did
grandson.
not actually.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
No,
So we
no.
go.
John was saying there was some music playing in the other room, and I said, I don't hear it. So
Oh, yeah,
good.
yeah, and then we go back in the studio next week. So it'll be interesting. But just means that I have to deal with more local people as opposed to I had Cedric Thomas Smith from Austin Revolution was
Yeah.
my guest I think last week. I think let me grab while I'm doing this, via Zoom while this, we're waiting to get back in the studio. Let me grab the people I can who aren't local. So that's been kind of fun. But it's I've been wanting to do it forever, and it gets to a point where you're just not ever going to have time, so do it anyway. So that.
Get it on the schedule.
Yeah, I'm never gonna have the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I know I have so many things I need to schedule now, just not even for Bellevue, but for acting and for auditioning for other films and theater. And I had a rehearsal today for a scene that I'm doing in a class. So it's like running into town, into Manhattan, and coming back to Brooklyn. But there are many things that I still need to get rolling in the audition sphere
Mhm.
and in the agent sphere too, because my agent just left the business. So it's like, okay, well, I
So
guess I
many are
find somebody
leaving.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like the third person I just heard in the last 2 weeks whose agents, and I believe they're different ones, the agents are just they're leaving.
yeah,
They can't make money anymore. But
yeah. I don't know. I think she just got disenchanted with it and she left it to her other two people and they don't have their SAG franchise anymore. So I'm SAG. Sorry.
yeah, that's
Sorry.
everybody who's looking right now. I keep getting that from people. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not easy right now.
But I'm all about creating my own content.
Absolutely. You have
So
to. You have to.
when we get the next thing is to get a marketing package put together for Bellevue,
Mhm.
to start getting it out to potential producers, to do that research,
Mhm.
to figure out who to send it to,
Mhm.
which producers are actually looking at things
Mhm.
and actually buying things or taking an interest.
Mhm.
So there's that whole end of the business world, which is going to be a giant learning curve for me. And I have a good mentor, I think that I can work with.
Oh, that's good.
So so that'll be good as far as like putting things together and making it look right. And
Mhm.
new pitch package now because now it's finished.
Right.
Uh, a new pitch Bible now that we're starting to kind of flesh out the whole first season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to find time to actually write this feature film that's running around in my head called Funny.
Cool.
Uh, and it deals with the foster care system and a particular doll that my character had when she was a child that was taken away from her, that she then finds in a secondhand shop. And she knows it's her doll because it's got this thing on its face. So she knows it's hers. And she is a social worker. And so the story revolves around this doll and actually creating a relationship with one of the clients.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually does happen. I actually had an interview with a social worker, and she said it does happen where social workers want to adopt children that they're dealing with because there's a connection, you know? And, you know, they have to go through the same process as anybody else. They don't, you know, there's no leg up for it. But yeah, so that's sort of like the next project that's running around in my head.
That's awesome. Yeah. What is your favorite part of doing all of this? Writing or acting or producing or?
The favorite would be the acting, obviously. That's my thing. But I really love the writing. You know, it's just because I wrote a play about Dorothy Parker many, many years ago. It was nominated for Best Adaptation because it takes her life story and weaves it in with 4 of her short stories and 5 of her poems.
Oh, wow.
So they're actually being brought to life on stage, the short stories. And so I've always enjoyed writing, but hadn't done any since then. And so coming into Bellevue and actually writing it and like absorbing everything in the screenwriter's Bible. Yep, that's a plug. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. I love the screenwriter's Bible. It helps so much to keep things on track and keep things organized and know how to start developing the whole thing.
Oh.
So yeah.
I kind of go strictly on intuition. I know that's crazy. And I know there's better
You've been
ways.
doing it for so many more years than I have. So I just felt like, you know what? Where can I get the learning that I need?
I wrote that down because actually I want to look at it. There's always something to learn. You know,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And they have checklists in there and things like, it's like, oh yeah, you know what? This checklist is really helpful. Keeping me on track, making sure I don't miss this thing or that thing.
I think I have it. Was it a downloadable thing?
No, I think you have to buy the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I tried to buy it. If it's what I think it is, I tried to buy it and you just couldn't find it anymore, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. But
yeah,
so I
no, this has new editions coming out all the time.
True.
So, but you know, and so I thought if I'm going to start writing Bellevue, if I'm going to actually take this idea that Susan had, and we're going to take this and turn it into something, I need to get my skills brushed up. And you know, we butted heads a few times to where the story was going and who the characters were. That always is going to happen when you're co-writing with somebody. And I mean, we seriously like butted heads at least once, you know, where I was just like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this.
That's rough. It is rough. I mean, some people work together really well. I made a couple. They're not.
Oh, you know,
we work together.
But
they did this project that we saw at a film festival and it was really good. And she's like, oh, they fight all the time, you know, but they just seem to have this good symbiotic relationship that they get.
And I've known Susan since we were like 15, which is, I'm not going to say how old I am, but that's a long time. Yeah, so it's like, you know what, you got to work this out, figure it out. Okay. Figure out how to compromise on whatever it is. You know, there were things that you can and can't do on film, you know? So it's like, well, we're going to have to change this because you really can't do that on film. That's not going to really film well. Can't use that particular situation because the sound is going to be horrible. You know, we have to find another place to put this particular scene.
Oh,
And
yeah. I mean, and as an independent filmmaker, the good thing about being a writer when you're an independent filmmaker is the fact that if you can't afford something, you can change it a little bit.
yeah,
Usually,
I mean, that's the whole thing. How creative can you be and make it happen within whatever constraints you have?
Yep. Yeah. I just, there's one thing I want to rewrite. We're doing a vertical series, and it's a action drama, which is not something I've done before. So that's why I want to do it. And we have a restaurant and there's a bar in the restaurant, but we have a scene in a coffee house, which we could do, but it means a company move. And for such a short scene, it's just to me a waste of money. I'm like, oh, I have a really good idea. So I just had this guy who's a hitman walk into a bar early in the morning before it's open, and the waitress is, not the waitress, the barmaid's behind the bar, and she's drinking coffee. He goes, you got coffee? She goes, there's places that sell that. And then it became a whole comedy thing where it wouldn't have been before at the diner.
Yeah, but he's still going to get his cup of coffee.
Yeah, but he's a jerk, so it just fits really perfect, that he would
Pick up a coffee.
I know.
Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I call that kind of happy accidents in a way that, something
Right.
I hadn't thought of works better, or you lose something and you have to replace it, and you're like, I can make that work, and that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
says a lot about your ability to sustain in this kind of industry, is to just go with it, go with the flow and make it work, because it's almost always better. Whatever you do that you couldn't have done is almost always better,
Yeah.
so, and that's the way I gotta
Yeah.
look at
When
it.
you're forced into the creative ideas,
Mhm.
you end up having something that's more creative,
Mhm.
obviously,
Yeah, you have to be
than
there.
it otherwise was when you were trying to do what was in the script.
That's right. Now you did something. I saw a Friends movie a couple of years ago, and you had a very small part in it, but it made such an impression on me. I had to look up to see who it was, and it was Melissa Scribble's film, Blood is Thicker. There's a part where one of the characters, Janine Bartel, has to call her mother in. I guess it's a nursing home, and the mother is just like, wow, screaming on the
He
phone.
is screaming and cussing up a storm.
I know this woman's
He hates
terrifying.
the other daughter.
Yeah, like this woman's terrifying. Who is this? It reminded me of like Norman Bates's mother, the one he would put on The Voice. Like,
Right?
what is this? I'm like, that was Maureen. I had no idea. Wow.
Yes, I'm a woman of many voices.
Mhm. And you were also in Schwartzy, right? My dinner with
Yep.
Schwartzy.
Yep, just very small role. Bridge and tunnel, trying to get in the back room. They wouldn't let us. And then I did a couple of other short, little tiny roles in different wigs.
Oh.
It's like, that's me again in the black wig. And that's me sitting over there on that couch in the blonde wig.
Hilarious. Yeah, we just did that with a couple of guys because a few things happened. I wanted to do a family celebration. So in order to do that, I had to get Lucas Hassel and Sal Rendino. I had to get Sal's kids, and then one of them got sick. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't just have one because she's the one who's been in it more than he has. And it doesn't make sense. So I looked at our hair and makeup person. I went, Jennifer. I said, do you have a wig? She goes, I have many wigs. And I showed her a picture of the actress. She goes, I got it. And she sent me pictures, and we just see her from the back. She never turns. She goes like this to everybody else. So you see her turn her head, and people are talking to her, but she never turns because you do what
You
you
don't
got
see
to
your
do,
face, right?
And then she was also our not our actual AD in the movie, but she plays an AD in the movie. It's like, so she put her hair back and she did something completely different and came in and did that. And then we needed her for something else. And she's like, I got to wait for that too. Same thing. You do what you got to do.
Oh,
People have no idea how
okay.
insane this business is unless they're in it.
Yeah, that's true. They don't really get how difficult
Oh.
actually is to go from conception
Mhm.
to actually showing it to an audience.
Oh yeah. Every
There
part of it
is
is
so much. Like
Mhm.
I just didn't even realize how much it was because this is the first time that I produced anything.
Right.
Like not on stage. I've produced things on stage before, but that's different. You're in rehearsals for 5 hours a night. It's a festival, and
Mhm.
you have your director and everything's great and you see how the whole thing is shaping up and whatever, and then you go do your performances. But there are so many moving parts that I just, it's like, okay, this is a big learning curve. What now? And I have to tell you, Debbie, you were the greatest help and mentor ever on this. Because I mean, how many times? I can't even count how many times I came to you and said, what do I do here? What should I do? When should I send this out? How can we get this done? How can we do that?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. I've been doing it for a long time. And each time
I know. That's why I asked you, because you've
yeah.
been doing it for a long time.
And it's still always a thing.
Right.
It's still always a
Doesn't matter like how long you have done it.
thing.
There's because every production is different, it faces different hurdles, different challenges,
You just understand that
different
you need to solve
funding
something.
problems. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, say that again?
You just need you know that you need to solve it. So
Yeah.
you know when you go into any
Yeah.
job that whatever it is, it's going to have an issue.
Right.
And it can be any crazy thing. I mean, from the last Taxi Driver, which is the first movie I think we had like 3 blizzards in a row or something, lost our location 3 times, and most of it took place outside. And so we had to just really get so friggin' creative. It's okay. The streets are all snowed in, but this piss of street isn't. So we're going to film him going this way. He's going to turn around, then film him going this way out that window, so it looks like a longer road. And then we're going to film. And I mean, the things you have to figure out how to do.
Yeah.
And then have him make a comment about global warming, frigging global warming, because we had 6 different weather patterns in 3 days, and we're all outside in. And that
Oh
was
my gosh.
my
Well,
very
you're
first.
filming in New York State, right? So it's no wonder you had 6 different weather patterns in 3 days.
Yep, yep. I think everybody, I'll be honest with you. And I just walked outside at one point. I left everybody in this one building where we had catering and holding. I walked outside. I'm like, all right, you want me to make this movie? You gotta help me, because there's nothing I can do. Everything is beyond my control at this point. And it ended up actually coming out well. But just as always, every movie, eh, even as smooth as it is, will have an issue.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the experience is knowing that you can figure it out.
Yeah. At least one issue. I mean, as you well know, and thanks to you, we found somebody. I had to recast Mr. Kleinfelter because the man who wanted to do it was not going to be available when we had the space.
Mhm.
And if we didn't shoot in August, we weren't going to get to shoot until Christmas.
Right.
So it's like, I'm so sorry, but I have to recast this. And he's like, no, I totally understand. He's been in the business for a long, long time. So he's like, I totally understand. I get it,
Hmm.
you know. And I still, I want to write a role for him now in this next thing that I'm going to film. And I do want it to be a feature, but I also think I'm going to do a short proof of concept as,
Hmm.
and maybe try and film the proof of concept so that those pieces can then fit into the feature.
Yeah. That's a nice way to do things. Yeah. I mean, with Brimstone started as a short, and then we did a Brimstone Lullaby, which John wrote, which nobody's seen. And after we did the first Brimstone, I wrote the Brimstone feature is called From the Embers, because I was interested in seeing what happened with those 2 other actors. And we do use part of John as this guy's PTS syndromes.
Yeah.
When he gets into his PTS episodes, he hears his father's voice. So
Mhm.
John's basically a flashback in that. And then we're writing a horror part of it that we're going to do hopefully in 2027 or 2028. But there's things when you fall in love with a project like Bellevue, you're going to have so many ideas. I mean, Susan obviously has ideas, but the characters are going to morph into
Yeah.
things as well. And
Yeah, I can really start to see now, based on what we shot already and how it all came out, how these characters are going to develop then over the course of the first season, at
Mhm.
least, you know. So that's gonna be a good thing as far as developing it to sell it,
Mhm.
really knowing who the characters are, knowing where they're going,
Oh
and
yeah.
where they're going to end up at the end of season 1.
Yeah. I mean, I really love how tenacious you are with this. That you knew you were going to do it, or however long it takes. And I kind of really like the idea that you started it and did it over time, because you just keep recommitting.
You do.
Yeah,
You
there's people
like,
who
you know,
start
I
something.
just spent X dollars on this half-day shoot.
Mhm,
Okay. All right. Now, how much do we have to raise for a full day
mhm.
in Massapequa? How much do we have to raise for this facility? And I just remember, and thank goodness that Corey Diskin, one of our production designers, happened to be at a hospital where there were nurses from the Adelphi nursing program who told her to reach out to the man who runs the program,
Yeah, yeah.
Anthony,
Mhm.
Anthony Egan, because it was looking like a $10,000 a day
They were throwing all those fees on
this
there, and it
other
was
place that
crazy.
we had gone and scouted.
Mhm,
And then Adelphi just came through and it was like, okay, I guess this needs to be made. How are
mhm.
we gonna make this happen?
Oh
You
yeah, I mean, I had oh my God, I don't know if you know how many people I had to go through to get people to work on it, from Adelphi, but
Oh yeah, no, I had no idea how many people you went through to get your volunteers.
people who were alumni who still knew people or people who so I like had people from every angle, and we still, yeah, we had a nice amount, but it was that was the thing there, because they were a
Yeah.
joy, but you had to have this requirement, whatever, so
Right. Yeah. Well, and I asked Anthony and I said, if we have just two people, if we have two interns, is that fine? He said, yeah, that's fine. So, it's like, okay, we've got our two for
mhm,
each of the days that we're going to shoot there. They were different people, different students.
mhm.
One of them actually had graduated because I tried to go back to her and she said, oh, I graduated. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay. And then the other guy, I think either he had graduated or he wasn't available. And it's like, okay, back to the drawing board. Let's find two more people.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
really a wonderful blessing that we found that facility.
I
And it
know.
was just, it was fate. I mean, I don't think that was just an accident
Hmm.
that Corey happened to run into these nursing students who gave her Anthony's name.
Yeah, she's good with that. She likes to talk to everybody,
Yeah.
and so she kind of knows a lot of things. I know when I grab onto a location that I have for free, it's like, or low. It's like, okay, this is, we got to do great stuff for these people to get this, because that's
Yeah.
like gold at
Yeah.
that point.
And Corey and our other production designer Susie Clan got an award of excellence for their production design.
Cool.
So personally, I think they should have won best production design,
Mhm.
my opinion, because they had to do a lot more than the film that won best production design. So
Now, what
my opinion.
now one thing, well, Corey has a film in the film festival this year.
Oh yeah.
That she did production design on. It's not mine. Now I know the story behind it, which I'm not a judge, but I saw she built a bank in an empty room.
A bank?
A bank, literally with teller windows and
Oh my heavens.
and the stanchions and I mean, I just she showed me the before and showed me the after. I'm like, you built that whole freaking thing? And she's like, yeah, I mean, I had this bed, and it looks authentic. Like I cannot,
Wow.
I just can't believe, but I know she's talented,
That's
so
amazing. Yeah,
yeah,
she's very talented.
yeah.
Very talented.
So she'll
I hope
always
to
find a
work
way
with her
to.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, and she did with a couple of guys. One of our last scenes, we were going to go to a different location, and a company move always means losing hours and hours, and you really try not to do that. And she said, well, she doesn't really like shoots in her house, but she made an exception for this. And she said, okay, well, what I can do is if we go upstairs, I can take one of the bedrooms and I can do this and that, whatever. And the characters, she never go, one of the characters never goes in. She just knocks on the door to tell a friend, you need to come with me. But she set up the apartment behind him. And when you film it, it looks like she's in the hallway of an apartment building. They're having this whole conversation. That would have cost us probably 6 hours just getting there, setting it up, breaking it down, going back to, and we would have lost a whole day. And meanwhile,
Yeah.
because she did that for us, we were able to shoot it with almost no lapse in time at all. So we did 7, 8 day shoot in 6 days because she just made everything work.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I regret about Bellevue is that we had to film it as quickly as we did. If we had had more money, I would have stretched it out and given us more time. There
Mhm.
are things where I really wish I could have like gone back and looked at the footage as we were going through the day. There was no time for that.
No, no, there's
Not
not.
even a minute,
Yeah.
like
That's
to be one of those real producers where it's like, okay, we did this. Now let me look at it. Let me
yeah.
see. You know what? Can I do that again? And there was just no time. It's just like, and I just thank God that you're the wonderful director you are because you were just like going, nope, that's it. That's the
Yeah.
one.
You got it. You got to
Nope,
give. You
let's
got
do
to
it
give.
again. Do it again.
I can't. I mean, I have anxiety to begin with. I never sleep, and one of the things is because whenever I have a movie that's going through editing, I never sleep until I know I have a movie. Because you just never know. And it's crazy, but like a couple of guys I told John before everybody freaking ages out, before we age out. I mean, we got to finish this. This is the year we have to
Yeah.
finish this, and so I think with my first feature, because we were so busy, we didn't get to it till like months later. And I kept going, oh my God, what if I don't have a movie? And especially because I didn't have the as much experience, it's like, I don't really know if I have a movie, until finally, the editor came to us with the first pass and it's like, oh, thank God, and anything else can be tweaked or whatever, when editors
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the next time I decide to film something, I'm going to give us some extra time and do fewer scenes in a day. So
Mhm.
have the time to do that.
Yeah.
I
If you
have
have the
time to
money.
look at things and say, ooh, I didn't like what I did there. Can we
Mhm.
do that again? You know?
Yeah. If you
Because
have
even if your director likes it, as I guess, as an actor,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look at it and go, I think I can do better there.
Yeah. As a
You know?
director, I do that too for for the stuff I write. And I'm like, I can't, we have to move on. We got to do what we got to do. And
Oh God, okay, we gotta move on. We can't do
it
that
always
again.
works out. It
Yeah,
always works out.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does, it does, it does.
If you have good actors and the crew has a clue of what they're doing,
Yeah,
this works out.
yeah. We had a great, great crew on Bellevue. Really great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was challenging because there was so many moving pieces.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. I mean, that hallway scene when the men are coming out this way, and it's like, okay, well, these have to come out first because they can't line up with these guys. You won't see them, and it's and just pulling all the pieces. That was fun. Actually, that was a lot of fun. And
I
then
just,
I think John holding the sound thing up so you couldn't see it, and because there were all mirror windows on that one side and stuff. There's a lot of challenging stuff there.
I tell you what, I laugh every time. There's a series of photos of you back behind the scenes photos. And I think you were watching Lou Martini Jr. pull my skirt off. And you're starting off smiling, and then you're laughing a little more. And then at the third picture, you're like,
I do that on set all the time when it's funny because I know I'll start laughing.
and I love that was my favorite thing that we shot because you and I were standing back watching this, and we were both like, and then finally you yell cut, and we're just guffawing.
He is hilarious.
Hilarious. He
Yeah,
really,
and I've known Lou forever, but it's the first time we actually got to work together, and that was just a
he's
bit.
hilarious. I
Yeah.
was really, really glad for that. And I
Yeah.
don't even know if he got to watch it this past weekend. He couldn't make it to Big Apple because he was out of town, but we'll see. Maybe he'll get to Golden Door.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. It
Yeah.
was awesome. I have him. We're doing well, we did our pitch deck for Yuletide, although I'm gonna make some adjustments to it. But he's one of the people I'm considering for one of the parts. I mean the character's supposed to be Irish, so we'll make him Italian. But he's just so much fun and so great to work with and hilarious. You
He is.
you want to keep that good energy going, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can we take a little,
We can take a break. Okay, John, we're going to take a break.
because I'm going to cough for a minute and drink something.
That's fine. Let me something in the chat. What's there? Yeah, actually, he doesn't have to show. Oh,
Okay.
anyway, John, I just realized John put something in the chat room. A couple of guys from the first day of filming up until May 19th when we finished 7 years, 6 months, and 22 days it took us to complete filming. So, and and it was crazy stuff because it was raising money, and then it was also the fact that Abigail Hawk was in Blue Bloods and Lucas Hassel was on the blacklist, and Sarah Nina was in a play, and Kieran Chin was he still tours with Four Phantoms, but he was doing a lot back then. It was like, this is impossible. It's like we got 2 days and 2 years,
Yeah.
And then it's like everybody's Blue Bloods ended, Billions ended. Sal was on Billions, and Blacklist ended. So Lucas was done with Blacklist, and it was just like, you know what? This is the only time, because somebody's going to end up going out of the country.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the other thing about logistics too, with a film, because which days can you shoot based on your locations? Is everybody available on those days? It's not like a theater production where you have set performance dates and a set rehearsal, and people let you know. It's like, well, I have a conflict with this rehearsal and that rehearsal, but everybody knows I am available for tech rehearsal and performances.
Oh yeah, I mean it's an independent film, especially it's like a lot of these actors are my friends, so I know they're going to come in and help me get it done, but they can't turn down a really huge project if it comes. I mean, they commit. Once they commit, they commit. But it's sort of like, hey, I'm waiting on this one. If this comes out, and sometimes I think we got 6 days. It took us 8 weeks to get 6 days that worked for everybody.
Oh wow.
And that was lucky, because it would take 2 years, or 3 years to get 6 days. It was just crazy. But
logistics can be a bear.
Yeah. Hey, John, can we try and show the trailer, please, for Welcome to Bellevue? Let's see if it
Mom, please let me help. Maybe I can do school and work just a little.
I am so proud of you.
God, please let this job work out.
Oh! Sorry, lady.
No worries.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is fabulous.
I'm so
Wait,
sorry.
this is the finest Pima I've ever felt. You don't understand. Please let me have my Pima. Let me.
Holly.
Gloria.
This is Holly Stevens, our new admissions coordinator. This is Carol, our admissions director. Okay, great. That's Carol. Yeah, let's go. It's gonna be great. And you will be up here in the memory care unit once in a while.
Not Ralph, woman.
Come on. It's tricky. Sherry, can I have it?
I'll take my pens and pencils.
Guys, the door's not shut all the way. Let's get out of here.
Didn't you close the door all the way? I thought I did. Oh my God!
Again, no. Come on.
No.
What the hell's going on out here?
Let's go back inside.
Yeah, well, where the hell else are we gonna go?
Oh, man. Welcome to Bellevue.
Can we please not?
that was so much fun. I love that.
And Rob Riley, who put the trailer together for me, brilliant, just brilliant. And he did the poster as well, which is, he says, I really want a chance to use like AI on a print job. I want to see what I can do with it. So he took our stills from the film and did this AI cartooning thing with it. And now you look at the poster and you're like, that's a comedy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
No, it's funny.
Yeah.
When you look at that poster, crazy things are going to happen when you look at that poster. So it really encapsulates what people are going to see when they see the poster.
Mm-hmm. all the craziness and that it comes through. And
Yeah. He
again,
is just brilliant. He just did a brilliant job on those things.
yeah, the charming moments that but people all live through this, and if you don't find the comedy in it, then it's just could be way too depressing.
It
So
is.
I love that this shows the
Yeah.
lighter side.
Yeah. I like the lighter side too. In fact, I just started watching Inside Man.
Mhm.
And it's more like in an assisted living facility, where people have their own little apartments but they were just dealing with one of the residents who maybe needs to go into memory care. And they were very delicate with it, and it was great the way they handled it, but it's a different kind of feeling that they're putting on it. It's a little more sorrowful, more feeling, emotional,
Mhm.
because the Ted Danson character has just lost his wife to Alzheimer's. So they're pulling on that emotion, right? And I want Bellevue to pull on that a little bit, but I think the idea with it was to have them, one minute they're going, oh, and the next minute they're laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, you need that. I mean, you need it to get through this stuff. Life is hard. Life is wonderful, and it's incredible, and it is friggin' hard, so you need
Getting
that
old ain't for sissies.
yeah, oh God, no. My friend Saul, I used to work with many years ago. He passed away a bunch of years ago, but he always said to me, like, what did he say? Life is life is great if you're not weak or something. He used to have a couple of sayings he would say, it's just not for the weak of heart. It's
No, it is not.
and it's great. He was in his 80s when I worked with him, but really spry and whatever. But
Yeah. And I'm hoping that Bellevue will go somewhere and like Inside Man, give a lot more work to older actors.
yes, absolutely.
Because that series is one of the few out there that actually focuses older actors.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's the whole thing. It's like if women, anybody who's like underrepresented, if you don't get out there and make it yourself, it's I'm sorry to say this, but the patriarchy isn't going to let it happen if you don't get out there and make it yourself.
Yeah, it's true. It's just I'm not. Yeah, I mean,
people who are in power are men.
Yes, absolutely. Somebody else
get out there and make it yourself. It's not going to happen. That's why I really am excited about like all of the actresses now that are guessing their 50s, maybe early 60s, that are starting their own production companies like Reese Witherspoon. And the actors who are out there saying, okay, I'm going to take all this money that I've made and I'm going to start a production company and focus on things that are going to target a particular audience, that are going to target a female audience or target an older audience or whatever,
I was on a panel, I think it was women in entertainment or something or another. And one of the questions they asked is, how do you feel being a woman has hurt you in the industry? I said, it hasn't hurt me in the industry because nobody can fire you if you're the boss. My career, my own work, and bring in the money or whatever else I got to do.
Yeah, right.
Firing me.
The executive producer here, you can't fire me.
That's it. You do what you got to do. But it's art. I look at it in the way that with Waitlist, the Love Story, it's on Prime Video, and it's doing fairly well. The problem is you have to put in so much work because nobody's interested in seeing your film work. The studios have their own films. They're not, but I know it's the kind of film that for a certain audience, if they get in front of it, they're going to love it. It's not for everybody. You have to like rom-coms, and it's kind of a sexy little thing. But I know there's people who are going to adore it, and the reviews have been relatively pretty good, except one or two that I can curse on this, but one person. They didn't watch it. What they said is, why would anybody think I'd be interested in this shit? Well, then you shouldn't watch it. It's not
that's why there's 85 million other choices.
Yes, yes.
So
And
go to one of those.
yeah, exactly. If the rom-com is not your thing, don't watch
Don't
it.
watch it.
But you have to constantly build up your own audience, and
Yes.
we have to promote it, and you always have to, go in there and DM people and go, hey, watch my movie, and all those other things. And,
Mhm.
you do what you got to do. But
It took me a minute to actually find it on Amazon. I did find it, but then I didn't have time to watch it. And it's like, okay, it's on my list. I am getting back to it, Deborah. I'm getting
okay,
to
good.
In fact, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'm gonna watch it tonight because I have the whole evening off.
Yeah. But it's the good thing about independent filmmaking is that we get to do it.
Yeah.
If we're willing to put in the work and the groveling and the begging and the
The
whatever it is
groveling and the
we got to
begging.
do. Yeah, I mean, and there's
And the begging.
certainly plenty of that, then we can, we can do it. Nobody can tell us we can't,
That's right.
so that's a pretty awesome thing. But anyway, I think our time is up. I am
Yay.
very, very thankful to Maureen VanTrease for joining me here
Thank you,
today
Deborah.
on the Best of
I
Intentions.
feel honored to be chosen. Okay.
Okay. She's a phenomenal actress, and Welcome to Bellevue is going to be showing at Golden Door. And where can they find you to find out when all the screenings are? What's the best way to find you?
Well, look at Facebook and Instagram. Look at my Facebook and Instagram because anytime something's coming up, any awards, any screenings that we get, any schedule that's out there, it's going to go up on there on Facebook and Instagram.
All righty.
So
Well,
just
thank you,
Maureen
Maureen.
VanTrease on Facebook and Maureen VanTrease official on Instagram. So
Cool. And I'll put your socials down also.
okay, yeah.
When I put that up there and I get the graphic. But anyway, thank you again. Thank you everybody for joining us. And we'll see you again next Monday on The Best of Intentions, the podcast of Intention Films and Media. Thank you.